Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Sarah Bernard, and joining me in the studio now is author and speaker Suzanne Venker, a St. Louisan among us here, but nationally known. And you've got a book coming out on Valentine's Day, which is ingenious. How to Choose a Husband. Love the title.
Good marketing.
Good marketing. Love
Good
the
marketing.
title, love the release date.
Yeah.
Okay, so Suzanne, this is your third book. First book was on motherhood. Second book was kind of a new take on feminism. Third book is about marriage. So you have made this transition and making peace with marriage. Okay, so what is driving you? What's your mission? What are you trying to communicate to women?
So if I had to sort of sum it all up in under one umbrella, I would say that really my biggest concern is the messages that the culture sends women today, and how those messages conflict with what I think women really want, which is love, family, and really a very traditional life, meaning one that really revolves around the home and family. But that has been neglected, I guess, as a priority in favor of the all-important career, and really not just careers, but really work in general. You know, work that produces an income, an income, and what we do outside the home. So it's sort of shifted and taken the focus off of family as the focus and put it on work.
Why do you think this is what women want?
Well, I think ultimately it's what people want, men and women, but the reason I hone in on women is because it's women who have been sent the message that marriage and motherhood is not enough, that there is more to life than that, which there is, but I mean, it's shifted to the point where the value system is screwed up, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's not the way that it used to be. So.
And do you think those communication messages have changed over the past few decades?
Very much so. I think this has been a steady decline in the past 40 years, and the whole climate, if you will, around dating, sex, love, cohabitation, living together, marriage, all of those things have, of course, things have changed dramatically, and those changes have not been for the better, and the research bears that out. So that is my biggest concern, is how can we get to a place where people are really meeting the needs that they have as human beings, which really doesn't change. So that no matter how much we change as a society, human nature doesn't. And what men and women need and want from each other is the same today as it's always been. But the culture doesn't hone in on that. In fact, if anything, they pull men and women apart.
So one of the things that you've said is that marriage is not designed to be a competitive sport.
Right.
But that it's become that.
Right.
And there's maybe a balance of power that's not centered anymore. So talk about that.
So there's a lot that goes into it. So that's why it takes a whole book to actually explain it. But you know, marriage is always meant to be and was set up to be a complementary relationship where men bring something to the table that women do not, and vice versa. And those two were meant to work in tandem. And what we have had over the last 40 years is this focus on this notion of equality, that men and women are equal, not in value or worth, which they have always been, and we know that inherently, but that they are essentially the same. That men can do anything women can do just as well as women, and vice versa. And that really changes the whole thing, because then men and women are really seen as almost virtually interchangeable. But that is not, it's just not accurate. It's a sort of a faux version of equality. So you have men and women women specifically, who are trying to compete with men doing what they have traditionally done, which is to, you know, take that focus off the home and outside and put it outside the home in the marketplace to this feverish level, and then relationships at home are suffering.
So is there a place for work in a woman's life along with motherhood? Do you see that there is an opportunity to somehow combine the two?
Absolutely there is. Of course there is, but it's not in the way that you are getting, it is not in the way that the culture is teaching it, which is where it's all consuming. I read an article recently in the Wall Street Journal where even single women, single mothers or just single women, want to cut back on this feverish lifestyle, work,
Right.
because guess what? There's more to life than work. There's a hell of a lot more to life than work.
Right.
And go ahead.
And work is just a part of our lives.
It's just a part
of our, at some point we stop working.
It's just that
Ideally.
whole, do you want to live to work or work to live?
Right. Right.
Philosophy. What do you want for yourself?
Yeah. So we're going to go into that more and talk more about how to choose a husband.
Okay.
In our next segment, we're going to take a quick break right now. Don't go anywhere. We'll have much more with Suzanne when we return. And remember to keep up with STL TV and all the great events going on around St. Louis. Friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can always watch us streaming live on stltv.net. We'll be back with more after this.